Okay, stupid. This is it's a bit of a doozy. So hang with me, hang with me. I think we should have FaceTime for this one because you may not get it. That's a 6 right there. Okay. So factorials. Our factorial formula is NCR, like the new California Republic. Just memorize the what's it called? The formula is like the name of the new country your fucking dumbass state wants to do. You know California wants to become a new country? Fucking dumbasses. So the NCR. N factorial over R factorial, parentheses, N minus R, close parentheses, factorial. Right? So how about we set up each side to look like it? So this is what we get plugging it in how it is in this formula. 3 times n factorial over 6 factorial, parentheses, n minus 6 factorial equals n plus 1 factorial, 6 factorial, parentheses, n plus 1 minus 6 factorial, which is just, it's just n minus 5 factorial, okay? And this is where we supposed to hone in our skills from fucking chemistry, okay? So let's distribute that 3 up here, because if we multiply times a fraction, it goes on the top, right? And let's move everything to the other side. So let's move n plus 1 down here, and this up there. I think you understand, like, what we did here, okay? So I just moved the bottom to the top and the top to the bottom. I cross multiplied and left this as a 1. Because remember, if we want to move this back, so this n plus 1, if we want to move it back, then n plus 1 times 1 would be n plus 1. And then if we wanted to move this shit back, we'd have to multiply that times 1, so it could be on the bottom. So this is not a 0, this is a 1. Make sure you know that. Mr. T didn't know that, and I did. So we can see that these right here cancel. Okay? And that leaves us with a simple-ish fucking pieces of shit left. This is where it gets a bit confusing. So, for example, let's say that we had a number factorial. We can rewrite that as the number factorial, well, the number that's being factorial, 4 times the number that comes before it, 3. Okay? And we can do the same with 3 factorial. That's actually 3 times 2. Okay? You see how we do that? You're not as stupid. You may be stupid, but you're not completely fucking stupid. So, I think you know how to see that. Well, we can do the same when it comes to factorials of a variable and a number. The only difference is that this stays the same, and this number, we use the number that comes before it, the 3, and use the factorial, okay? So you see how this one stays the same, and then we use the number that comes before, 3 factorial? We do the same. This one stays the same right here, but we use the number that comes before this right here, and we put the factorial next to it. Okay? So then you can rewrite this as, you can just keep going, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you can get to 0. So this is the same as this. Okay? Just think of it like this. This is the same as that. It's basically the same thing. The only thing is that we're adding an n. The 0 is implied. So, you know, obviously you don't need to write it in. You know, Gerardo's girlfriend's times 0 is still fucking 0. Hold it, I hear you say. This is fucking easy, Gerardo, you fucking dumbass. I don't need your fucking help. Well, that's where you would be fucking wrong. Alright? So let's say we had this, okay? So that's actually n plus 0. Okay? Okay? So, what comes before 0? Negative 1. So this is equal to n, comma, or like times, n minus 1 factorial. I know, fucking. Hang with me. Hang with me. Okay? Keep this in mind. So let's go back to our original problem. This n plus 1 factorial. Why don't we just use a property we learned previously right here. Let's distribute out 3. So this is easier to see. Okay, you see how if I were just to multiply that back in, it would just be 3 factorial? Yeah. I'm just doing that so it's easier for you to see. You don't have to include that step. So let's write this stays the same, n plus 1 times the number that comes before this, which is 0. Factorial. Then these would cancel. It's fucking insane. I know. Okay. And now we come to the negatives. This is even more confusing, okay? So, you know, if we were to have 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 3 times 2 times 1, 4 factorial over 3 factorial, we can just cancel the smallest number and it leaves us with the bigger number, right? Does that make sense? How the 3 just gets fucking killed and then it just leaves the 4? We can do the same here, but because they're negative numbers, they work differently. The smaller number gets canceled out. Okay? So our smaller number will get canceled out here too. And our smaller number here is 6, not 5. Okay, let me just rewrite this.